Can you spell sigh? Your word is forbid. All right, spell stumble. Can you spell erupt? All right, spell trauma. Can you spell echo? Can you spell exert? Next up, vein. Spell update. Spell enact. All right, spell refrain. Refrain. Can you spell chronic? The next word is debris. Spell workout. All right, spell breakthrough. Your word is broccoli. Can you spell hungry? Can you spell voluntary? Can you spell cuisine? Your word is technological. Spell robust. Your word is defy. Your word is human. Your word is pray. Can you spell gender? Your word is dairy. The next word is sigh. The next word is human. Next up, update. Next up, defy. Can you spell quill? Spell paradox. Next up, flavor. Your word is syntax. Your word is furious. Next up, circle. Circle. Can you spell liable? The next word is excellent. Your word is reliability. Spell translucent. Next up, heresy. Spell Surveillance. Surveillance. Spell caustic. Spell exert. Next up, echo. Spell trauma. Your word is state. The next word is exile. All right, spell dairy. All right, spell ink. Your word is hungry. All right, spell burial. All right, spell irony. Your word is curious. Next up, warrior. Spell magnificent. Your word is absence. The next word is semicircle. Next up, wrist. The next word is intent. Can you spell random? The next word is comply. Next up, workout. The next word is rally. All right, spell probably. Spell robust. Can you spell forbid? All right, spell monk. Next up, automatic. Next up, telepathy. Your word is dolphin. Can you spell integrity? Next up, uncomfortable. Can you spell diesel? Spell abolish. The next word is pray. Next up, suck. All right, spell length. The next word is vein. The next word is duck. The next word is noob. All right, spell gender. Can you spell absorb? Your word is convey. Can you spell noble? The next word is concentration. All right, spell erupt. Can you spell scrutiny? All right, spell meditate. The next word is villain. Your word is vague. All right, spell transaction. All right, spell agnostic. All right, spell deployment. Can you spell misconception? Next up, parallel. All right, spell margin. The next word is aspiration. Your word is imprisonment. Next up, anaphylactic. The next word is stumble. Can you spell seldom? The next word is enact. Your word is stumble. Your word is workout. Next up, burial. Next up, convey. Can you spell rally? Can you spell exile? Spell echo. Your word is uncomfortable. Your word is quill. Can you spell seldom? Next up, vague. Next up, lightning. The next word is state. All right, spell magnificent. Spell strategic. Your word is expenditure. Next up, dolphin. Next up, pomegranate. Next up, curious. Spell guideline. Next up, hornswoggle. Next up, erratic. Next up, phlegm. Phlegm. Next up, reminiscence. The next word is noob. All right, spell enact. Spell human. Spell length. The next word is pray. The next word is absorb. Your word is monk. Spell erupt. The next word is hungry. Next up, vain. All right, spell agnostic. Can you spell furious? The next word is alphabet. The next word is alliance. Next up, offender. Spell tangerine. Next up, paradox. Next up, meditate. Next up, legendary. All right, spell aerodynamic. The next word is supposedly. Your word is susceptible. All right, spell Wednesday. Your word is aspiration. Your word is worthwhile. Can you spell ingenious? Can you spell eloquent? Your word is monosyllabic. Next up, defy. Your word is irony. Can you spell forbid? All right, spell wrist. Next up, duck. Next up, comply. Spell noble. Can you spell trauma? The next word is random. All right, spell suck. All right, spell pursuit. The next word is gallant. Can you spell betray? Spell obesity. Can you spell refrain? Your word is integrity. Can you spell thesis? The next word is refugee. The next word is remarkable. The next word is pestilence. All right, spell concentration. Next up, margin. All right, spell fictitious. All right, spell sapphire. Can you spell hypermetropia? Your word is supersede. Can you spell robust? Your word is sigh. All right, spell dairy. The next word is dilate. All right, spell semicircle. Your word is gender. Your word is intent. Next up, exert. The next word is ink. Your word is update. All right, spell broccoli. Can you spell semicircle? The next word is subsidy. The next word is integrity. Can you spell dilate? The next word is paradox. All right, spell familiar. Next up, concentration. Can you spell resilience. Spell hornswoggle. All right, spell unprecedented. All right, spell stumble. Can you spell rally? Your word is dairy. All right, spell hungry. All right, spell echo. The next word is sigh. Spell random. Next up, noob. The next word is defy. Can you spell pray? Can you spell monk? The next word is tangerine. Can you spell remarkable? All right, spell pigeon. Next up, voluntary. Can you spell tremendous? All right, spell margin. Can you spell meditate? All right, spell shareholder. Next up, liable. Next up, aspiration. Spell formidable. Can you spell neighboring? Spell nonplussed. The next word is malapropism. Next up, participation. The next word is negotiation. Your word is hierarchy. All right, spell cellepsis. Spell curious. All right, spell exert. Your word is exile. Spell gallant. Your word is update. Your word is noble. Next up, pursuit. Your word is ink. Spell human. Your word is intent. Your word is telepathy. All right, spell automatic. The next word is immobilize. Can you spell bizarre? Can you spell enact? The next word is breakthrough. Spell vague. Can you spell furious? All right, spell betray. The next word is mathematician. The next word is burger. The next word is pomegranate. The next word is revelation. The next word is duck. Can you spell suck? Can you spell irony? All right, spell forbid. Your word is length. The next word is trauma. Spell burial. The next word is wrist. Spell erupt. All right, spell workout. Your word is debris. Spell await. The next word is flavor. Can you spell probably? All right, spell gender. Next up, absorb. Spell robust. Spell refrain. All right, spell convey. All right, spell state. State. Can you spell comply? The next word is vain. The next word is noob. Spell robust. The next word is formidable. Your word is excellent. The next word is voluntary. Next up, monk. Spell forbid. The next word is trauma. All right, spell update. All right, spell absorb. Next up, enact. Spell convey. Can you spell exert? Next up, human. Can you spell vain? All right, spell tangerine. All right, spell telepathy. All right, spell quill. All right, spell uncomfortable. All right, spell appetite. Your word is pursuit. Spell flavor. Next up, gallant. Can you spell significance? Spell deployment. Spell humanitarian. Can you spell magnificent? Next up, favorable. Your word is residential. All right, spell eloquent. Next up, parliamentary. Your word is prestigious. Can you spell embarrassment? Spell hypermetropia. All right, spell noble. Your word is erupt. Your word is workout. The next word is dairy. Spell alphabet. Can you spell ink? All right, spell comply. Next up, random. All right, spell duck. Spell sigh. Can you spell suck? Next up, betray. The next word is offender. Spell lightning. Can you spell immobilize? Your word is familiar. The next word is paradox. Next up, vague. All right, spell subsidy. The next word is guideline. Spell aerodynamic. Spell fluorescent. Your word is thesis. Your word is elaborate. The next word is diplomatic. Your word is nauseous. Spell glockenspiel. Glockenspiel. All right, spell pray. Your word is exile. Your word is defy. Your word is stumble. All right, spell state. Can you spell burial? All right, spell length. Spell rally. Your word is hungry. Your word is password. Spell lather. The next word is pigeon. Spell tremendous. Can you spell alliance? Next up, scrutiny. All right, spell
liable,
spell villain. Next up, agnostic. Next up, chronic. Your word is
procrastinate,
your word is sapphire. Your word is biography. Next up, syntax. Next up, strategic. The next word is methodology. Next up, supposedly. Can you spell intent? The next word is wrist. Can you spell echo? The next word is irony. Your word is gender. All right, spell
update, update,
Can you spell gender? All right, spell stumble. Next up, suck. Next up, human. Next up, burial. Your word is vain. Your word is await. All right, spell vague. The next word is duck. Your word is wrist. Spell betray. All right, spell hungry. All right, spell
rye,
next up, dilate. Spell mathematician. Next up, colonel. The next word is legendary. All right, spell controversial. The next word is obfuscation. Your word is ubiquitous.